space. As promised, let's get you the conversation that we will play for you. It comes in from Biocon Biologics. Reported an operationally weak quarter. Their revenues were in line with street expectations, but the margins came off. In the first quarter, they also had integrated their business with Viatris. Ekta caught up with the company's MD and CEO, Shreehas Tambe, and started by asking about their performance for the previous quarter.
Strong quarter driven by sales and by revenues. We've had almost all our products grow in market share, so it's really been a good quarter in terms of performance. In terms of the margins that you referred to just now, we've had the US pegfilgrastim, where we had a select few customers who were on legacy Viatris contracts, which they had higher rebates. Those have since been reset, and starting July 1, most of them have been on the rebates that we are comfortable with, and we'll see margins return to normalcy in the coming quarters.
Okay, so when you say that margins will return to normalcy, what are you guiding for and by when?
I think right from the beginning, we've guided for our core EBITDA margins to have been in that mid-30s, and we're still staying to that guidance of our business. Even if you were to look at what these legacy contracts have impacted pegfilgrastim with for the rebates, that's been to the extent of $15 million. And if you put that back into the numbers, which has affected both the revenues and the profits, then you would again see the core EBITDAs move to the mid-30s. So we're still indicating that the business remains strong, and the core EBITDA, which reflects the health of the business, is also fundamentally quite strong.
Okay. What is the uptake of adalimumab biosimilar, or the biosimilar version of Humira in the US? And are you looking at interchangeability in terms of a filing and possible approval? If so, you could share the timelines with us.
The biosimilar adalimumab is a massive opportunity. It's the first biosimilar which in the Part D drug, Part D space, where the drug has lost exclusivity. So it's a sizable opportunity. Many players are realizing it for the first time as to how the Part D space will play out. There is, of course, a more gradual decision-making on this particular product. So we are seeing most of these decisions probably will be made towards the end of the year. And we will see a gradual ramp up of this product in 2024 and leading up into 2025. That really is a very promising asset, both for Biocon Biologics and to see how the industry overall plays out in the years to come.
Okay. Could you just give us an update on the 8 observations which were issued to the Malaysia facility a couple of weeks ago? What is the nature of the observations? What is the status on the remediation?
So we had 2 GMP inspections in a way where these were focused on the drug substance, the drug product, and the quality control laboratories. And we had 6 observations on the Form 483 for those. And we had 2 observations for the devices facility that was inspected. We feel very confident about responding to these. There was no data integrity breach that was identified, and there's been no systemic non-compliance. The nature of these observations have mostly been about strengthening our training procedures, practices, and about making sure that we have improvements in the operational practices, which we are very confident of responding. We've responded to the observations with a CAPA plan, and we expect the agency to be in a position to accept that and grant us the go-ahead.
What is the status on net debt reduction when it comes to the biosimilar business? One, what does the consolidated debt stand at this point in time? And what are you considering in terms of steps to reduce the debt? And what is a level that you would be comfortable with?
Yeah, I think we've talked about this in the past as well. Our net debt position at Biocon Biologics level is at 1.4 billion. And we basically had raised funds through Edelweiss last quarter, and we talked about that. We continue to see a strong interest from investors to be a part of the Biocon Biologics growth story. And we are currently in discussions. And as these get closer towards finalization, we will of course, be able to discuss more and disclose about it. But we will, be certainly looking to pay down this debt, which we've said in the past, and we are progressing along those lines.
When could we hear on any kind of equity raising or further equity raising in Biocon Biologics?
We should be able to tell you that shortly, Ekta. I think we're making good progress, and yes, I think we should be able to let you know shortly.
But what is the status of the tie-up with Serum when it does come to the vaccines? You have 100 million vaccines that you have access to annually, but has that taken off? Is it in line with the expectations that Biocon had when you did sign up the tie-up with Serum?
Yeah, I think Serum is a strategy which has been very important for us overall as we look beyond just the biosimilars. And the COVID pandemic opened our eyes to unaddressed, unmet need that is there in this space. Now, clearly, this predated the acquisition of the Viatris business. That certainly takes priority at this point in terms of trying to consolidate that and integrate it. And as we've said recently, we had a 2-year TSA, but we are tracking ahead of plan. As we said in our earnings call as well, we've not just transitioned the first wave of 70 countries, but we're also looking to transition the North America business end of this quarter and the entire acquired business before the end of this fiscal, which is a substantial acceleration. Serum has been a great investor as well, and an opportunity we intend to expand into. We have rights to their capacity and 100 million doses that we can get manufactured at their facility. We can also sell the products that they have in markets that are available to us. We will certainly look at that, but I think at this time we are focused on integrating the Viatris business into us, and we're very happy and pleased that we're able to accelerate that integration and bring it ahead of the 2-year plan that we had guided earlier.
So the tie-up hasn't taken off as yet?
The tie-up has already taken off. It's just that we are tiering in terms of priority because the acquisition is a very sizable opportunity in terms of value creation and accretion to the numbers, and we want to make sure that is integrated in. And then the consolidated commercial muscle that we will have will then allow us to focus on the vaccine business following this.
Okay, so that's the management of Biocon Biologics. We need to take a short break on that note, but more stocks on the other side. Stay tuned.